Hello and welcome to another episode of Talk TV. I'm your host, Doug Brendel, and tonight we have a candidate for County Commissioner, the District 2 County Commissioner candidate, Frank Carbone. Frank, welcome to the studios. How you doing tonight?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate being here, and I hope we have a good conversation.
Okay, are you running on a political affiliation, Democrat, Republican, Independent?
I am actually a Republican. I've been a Republican for 44 years.
Okay. Probably not going to change anytime soon.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Did you see President Obama on David Letterman? No, just kidding.
He was really
just
good.
Kidding.
Yeah. How about that?
Not going to go there.
Well, you know, it's kind of tough when the president goes to watch Letterman and goes on Letterman's show, but doesn't take care of his business at the White House.
Yeah. We're going to open a whole can of worms there.
Yes, we will.
I can't talk to anybody about presidential without it going way. But that's a good thing. Anyway, what's your personal history? How long you lived here in Pahrump, and what led you up to this point in business and personal life?
Okay, well, very good. I'll give you a little bit about my history, and I'll start off with I've been here a little over 7.5 years in Pahrump, and the reason why I'm here in Pahrump, I retired out of Northrop Grumman, and I spent 30 years with them. Prior to that, I had various jobs at other companies, Lockheed, Hughes, F&K Machinery, U-Haul. I mean, there's a lot of different places I worked for. I even started out around 15 years old to try to bring money into the family because the family needed some extra cash to do the things we needed to get done. You know, house payments, car payments, you know, gas, electric, you name it. Everything needs to be taken care of. It was myself, my brother, and my sister who came along real late in the marriage, so it was pretty tough. I've been married for 38 years. I still have a very good relationship, and I love my wife. I have a son who's 38 years old, and I have 2 grandchildren, and they all live up here in Pahrump. So wow. I'm pretty happy to have my family around me.
That's nice. And everybody's from New York originally, and
actually
headed west.
Actually, I'm the only one from out of New York and Brooklyn. I came out of here. I came out to actually to Texas via the Air Force. I spent my tech time there. Actually, I spent my boot camp there. I went to Illinois, Champaign, up there by the Great Lakes for my training for my tech school, and then I landed at George Air Force Base, which was my duty station, and everything that happened for the next 4 years happened there, but I was TDY to a lot of places around the world. We did a lot of aircraft recovery for certain articles that were on airplanes that were secret, that didn't need to be in somebody else's hands.
Interesting. So what was your actual vocation with Northrop and all that? You were an engineer of some type?
Well, it's kind of funny you asked that. A lot of things in my career with Northrop started out at F&K Machinery, where I learned how to break down big machines that like big lathes, big milling machines, big spot welders. And from that, I learned how to handle the machinery. Then I learned to work for a place called F&K Machinery, which I learned how to build tools. And actually, the tools are for building other things. So these are actually tools to assemble things.
Right.
Learning from blueprints and actually building something was my first activity. And I carried that through my life all the way to Northrop. When Northrop seen the things I could do after I was on the assembly line, they put me into different activities. They put me in planning. They moved me from planning to tooling to tool engineering so I could learn more about the engineering aspects of it. And then from there, I went into manufacturing engineering, which was taking the practical engineering drawings itself and turning it into something that the manufacturing people could use to actually do the work. So between the 2 engineering activities that I was doing, that helped make assembling an airplane or a product really easy.
So you had to have a creative bent along with analytical and
Absolutely.
Problem solving.
And I got all my certifications from Northrop. From then I went into program management. I did master planning. You know, I also did material production control. I mean, which is managing a lot of the parts, moving things in, buying things. You know, where we actually had to buy radar systems and other components. So there was a lot of things that we actually did. My last job at Northrop Grumman, where it was just before I retired, was setting up the SPO, the Special Projects Office, for the B-2 bomber out at Tinker Air Force Base. It was to help the warfighter at the 509th Bomb Wing get their things that they needed to support their air vehicle, which is logistics. And that's to make sure all the things they need to make that air vehicle continue to fly and give it the best things that they need so the warfighter is always prepared and ready to move.
So would you say that that gave you a good groundwork for looking at things in the political arena where you say, why is this or why is this not?
Absolutely.
And then you engage that process in your brain and say,
again,
hey.
that's analytical activities that you mentioned before. You get to see how the whole thing is put together from the seeds out to the complete apple.
Right.
And what's nice about that is I also, going through Northrop and going from job to job and moving up that tree within the company, you have a lot of politics involved. If anybody's ever been involved in a big corporation, yeah, there's a ton of politics that's involved.
As bad as they want to get it done, it seems like there's somebody who's going to get in your way of doing it, right?
Yeah, and it's maybe somebody wants your job or you want somebody else's job or whatever it is, but there's politics involved all the way around.
Sure. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break here, Frank, so don't go anywhere, folks.